Hello everyone. Let's start with the chapter Demand and Supply Analysis, and this is the part 1 of the chapter. This chapter has been divided into many parts, and this is the first part of it. Let's understand what is microeconomics. Before understanding microeconomics, let's understand what is economics. Economics is a part of social science. Now, why is it a part of social science? It is a part of social science because it systematically examines human behavior. And how it systematically examines human behavior? It systematically examines human behavior by using specific scientific methods, which we'll be studying in the next slide, and by also analyzing the human behavior. So it is the social science because it systematically analyzes the human behavior using scientific methods. Now, in microeconomics, how do you define economics? You can say that economics is a study of the allocation of the limited resources in order to meet the unlimited human wants. So, one thing which we should be knowing while studying economics is that our resources are limited in nature. Like, let's say, if let's take the resource as coal, or let's take it as petrol. So all these resources are limited in nature, or gold, silver, anything, any resource. It is limited in nature. In general, resources are limited in order to meet the unlimited human wants. Now, human wants are unlimited. Today, I want a car. Tomorrow, I'll say I want something. No, even I'll say I want a costlier car. Then after that, I'll want an aeroplane. Then I'll want something else, even more big. So the wants of humans are not ending. So we have to use those limited resources in order to meet the unlimited human wants. So in economics, we study how the allocation of these limited resources is to be done to meet the unlimited human desires. Now, in order to allocate the limited resources, there should be an allocation mechanism. Now, why is an allocation mechanism required? An allocation mechanism is required in an economy because we need to realize that the wants that are existing are unlimited, okay, when compared to the limited resources, because we know that the wants that are existing are more when compared to the available resources. Since the wants are more, the resources has to be allocated in a proper manner, in a correct, proper and justified manner. For this to happen, it's very important that there's a mechanism in place. By mechanism we mean rules, regulation, laws in the market. There should be certain rules that the government has to put in place, whether it is for consumers, producers, or for the market. So in this way, the resources has to be divided through a proper allocation mechanism, which we'll be studying. In general, economics is classified as macroeconomics and microeconomics, and this is the branches of economics. The focus of microeconomics is on decision making. So now microeconomics focuses on what? It mainly focuses on how a firm or a household is making its decision. So microeconomics is focusing on how a individual economic agent like a firm or a household is making decision, is how it is making a decision. So microeconomics is concerned with the behavior of individuals. Microeconomics is concerned with the behavior of individuals, firms, unions, etc., or any other identifiable agents. So the focus of microeconomics is mainly on decision making and hence on market. Now let's understand these methods of economics. There are two scientific methods of economics which are used to understand the behavior of people and the economic systems. So there are two scientific methods which are used by economists that helps the economists understand the behavior of the people and the economic systems. The first one is economic theory. This is the first scientific method. Empirical economics, the second scientific method. As per this, economic theory analyzes the behavior of economic agents by framing principles or theories. So, in case of economic theory, The behavior of economic agents like households, firms are analyzed, are analyzed, and how they're analyzed by framing principles or theories. By framing principles and by framing theories, the analysis of the behavior of economic agents is done. These theories are mathematical representations. So these theories that we're talking about are mathematical representation of human behavior with respect to the distribution or production of goods and services in microeconomics. So when you're talking about microeconomics, in microeconomics, these theories are mathematical representation of human behavior. They are the mathematical representation of human behavior with respect to the production and distribution of the goods and services. So in this theory, we're analyzing the human behavior, and how we're analyzing the human behavior with respect to how the goods and the services are distributed, or in respect to how the goods and the services are produced, and that is even represented in a mathematical form in microeconomics. Now let's see how it is done in macroeconomics. And in macroeconomics, these economic theories are again their mathematical presentation of human behavior with respect to aggregate economy. So there is the mathematical representation of human behavior with respect to the aggregate economy in macroeconomics. This is how the scientific method of economic theory is used. Now the next scientific method that we will talk about is the empirical economics. We will talk about the empirical economics. Now empirical economics is based upon facts. Economic theory is based upon principles or theories, whereas empirical economics is based upon facts. And in empirical economics, there is a description given to the economic activities. So empirical economics describes the economic activities with the use of facts. So empirical economics is describing the economic activities with the facts. So the economics, the that part of economics which is dealing with this aspect of economics is called as econometrics. Is called as econometrics. Empirical tests of economic theory occurs in econometrics. Empirical tests of economic theory. So when these economic theories are put to test so as to refine it or so as to prove it, so then some empirical tests are used, and this empirical tests are mentioned in econometrics. So when we are studying econometrics, we'll be understanding this particular concept. So empirical tests of economic theory occurs in econometrics, which helps us to test. Then again, this will help us to test the accuracy of the economic theories. So once we are framing a theory, this is a step one. We have framed a theory. Now, when this theory is put to test and it is proved, then its accuracy is proved with the use of facts. This accuracy is proved with the use of facts by using certain empirical tests. Then it will come under empirical economics. So these are scientific methods of economics which are used to understand the behavior of the people and which is used to understand the economic system. Let's understand the inductive logic and the deductive logic. Deductive logic is mostly used in economics, whereas inductive logic is used in other subjects of social science like psychology, sociology, etc. Now, what is inductive logic? In cases of inductive logic, observations are made first and then these observations are tested. These observations are tested. So, observations are made and the observations are tested, and based on these observations, theories are created. And based on these observations, theories are created. For example, if we see something happening, for example, if an economist observes that in a particular household, he sees that they are buying more rice and when the price is less, and he observes that when the price is increasing, the same household is buying less rice, comparatively lesser rice. So he observes this. So this is an observation that the scientist or the economist has done in a particular household. So this observation has been made. So he'll gather evidence. And how would he gather evidence? By checking whether this observation is holding true to the other households. So he'll check in the other households also. So he'll make more observations in many other households, and then he will formulate a theory based on the observation that is made. So this is called as inductive logic, in which an economist is making a theory, is framing a theory on the basis of the observations that the economist has made, on the basis of the observations that the economist has made. And in case of deductive logic, it is the opposite. First a theory is created, or first a hypothesis is created. So first a theory is made, and then the data is applied in a statistical test to check if the theory or the hypothesis can be rejected. For example, let's take the same example. If an economist knows that, okay, he believes that if there is a rise in price, there would be a fall in demand, and vice versa. And if he believes this theory, so what he'll do, he'll frame this theory as an hypothesis first. He'll make it as an hypothesis that demand falls when prices rise. So this is his hypothesis. Then what the economist will do, he will apply some statistical test, and he'll try to get this hypothesis rejected. And if it is not getting rejected, that means the hypothesis holds true. This is used majorly in economics. So like this deductive logic is used. So in case of deductive logic, a theory is formed first. A theory or hypothesis is formed first, and then the data is applied in a statistical test. In a statistical test to check if the theory or hypothesis can be rejected or not. Thank you so much for watching the video. Please do like and subscribe. Thank you.